Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Oakland Raiders and the Atlanta Falcons. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. For Johnson, the numbers for his performance from last week, 20 carries, 51 yards.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
Mayfield on 1st down. But it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Quincy Wilson with the INT. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism, because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Back to it after the pick 6. Mayfield. Roberts has it. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 64 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Eno Smith with his 16th touchdown of the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
Ito Smith heading back out with the rest of his offensive crew. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Ito Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running...
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Falcons have taken the lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And that'll make this a 6-point game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Raiders. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. He gets it to Cooks. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
56, the mark, boy, 56. Check 56.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 22 and a first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Mayfield. And that's off the mark, incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now with Smith. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports.
57, Mike 57.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Tight that. Like 22. Point it right. Hurry. Just heavy on the edges. Mike's 22.
Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Mayfield looks to throw. Roberts got it. Past the 20. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Falcons push further out in front. Now he's having a nice little first half here.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vic Beasley making it look easy, cruising in for the sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the 2nd quarter. They keep it with Smith on 1st down. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 15 yards, 1st down, Atlanta. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons push further out in front.
That score is not a game clincher by any stretch of the imagination. But the other team now has to be careful to not let this game begin to slip away.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. Buying time to his left. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. To throw on 2nd and 10, Winston.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now Winston. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Johnson running right. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Nerlin. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Ito Smith heading back out with the rest of his offensive crew. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on.
And it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
First throw now for the backup call. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Kenny Galladay, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately...
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing something.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons push further out in front. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And we focus on Duke Johnson now. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Not wanting to take a chance this time. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. So we've come up. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Second half begins with a run by Smith. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Second and 2. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
You can't stop me. Hey, Delta. Get it.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see
what rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up third down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Jameis to throw it. And he's taken down. back at his own 7. Vic Beasley able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you... Touchdown, Falcons! A big play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Falcons push further out in front.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and... Brandon Cooks, 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Brandon Cooks, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders get a score closer. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Smith. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Recon, 132, fuck down.
On 2nd down now, it's Lambert. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. And quickly they get to the line.
It's 3rd and 1.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Whenever you see a team deciding to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, as a defensive player, my mindset is we've got them now, and that's why they dialed up the blitz and got after them.
But occasionally, you want to pass it on 3rd and 1. I mean, not a lot for sure, but sometimes just to keep the defense guessing.
Oh, no doubt. You want to break tendencies as you go along with the game because you don't want them to just say, oh, 3rd and 1, we know exactly what they're going to do. But in this situation, as an offensive lineman, as a running back, I'd want to know why I didn't get the football.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Winston. And that's complete to Cooks. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Brandon Cooks, 77 yards. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit.
Well, if you've got him in your fantasy league, you like his production, his 2nd touchdown of the game. But right now, his team is trailing. Fortunately, he's playing pretty well and trying to keep them in it.
Yeah, they might need a little more from him here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to call his number. Right now, he needs his defense to step up and give him a chance.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Ready? 30 base.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Lambert, and he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the 1st. Move the chains. A gain of 7 on 3rd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
61, matchbox, light. Flipper.
They'll keep it on the ground. Lambert, and give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They're going to look to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Now for the point after. And can you believe it? He misses another one, his 3rd so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right?
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at.
Brandon Cooks. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Brandon Cooks, 83 yards. And the Raiders get a score closer. Well, yes, that's his 3rd touchdown catch, which is very impressive, but on the scoreboard, they're still struggling.
So safe to say that without him, my goodness, yikes, they are in major league trouble. He's doing his best to try and keep them in the game.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Ito Smith heading back out with the rest of his offensive crew. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Falcons on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught.
Let's go for it. Let's go.
Defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
60 Pittsburgh. 55.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Wide open receiver complete. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here? And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. From 10 yards out. And the Falcons push further out in front.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. On 1st and 10, Winston. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun. Winston. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis. Interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
That's it, baby. We got work.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. To throw again on 2nd down. Winston nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
You ain't doing nothing today.
From the gun, Winston. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
He's 2nd in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. The point after is good, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
He went all the way into the end zone. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
Set,
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did.